what to give you, what to call you. Who am I am empty, time flies from me. What is time? Dreams eternal, fears infernal haunt my heart. What to give you, what to call you, oh my God. Mother Spirit, Father Spirit, take our hearts, take our breath and let our voices sing our parts. Take our hands and let us work to shape our art.
Lady of the seasons, laughter in the summer's warmth be near. When the winter follows after, teach our spirits not to fear. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning year. Sister of the evening starlight, in the falling shadows stay. Here among us till the far light of tomorrow's dawning ray. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning day. Mother of the generations, in whose love all life is worth, everlasting celebrations bring our labor safe to birth. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning earth. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere.
Morning. Welcome to All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church in Shreveport. This is our Sunday service. We're glad to have you here and want to wish all of you a love-filled day, a day full of nurture, a day of reflection, perhaps forgiveness. Happy Mother's Day. To every one of you who's a mother, every one of you who has ever nurtured another person or who has ever been nurtured by somebody. This is a congregation that's built on covenant rather than creed. We come together in our mutual promise of how we're going to respectfully treat one another and try to live the ideals of respect and justice and truth out into the world. We don't have to all agree in order to hold important as a priority compassion for one another in the world. So whoever you are, whatever your experience, your age, race, origin, orientation, background, status, ability, identity, you are welcome here in a spirit of mutual respect. I wanted to mention today that we've had people from this congregation out in the community in all sorts of capacities, serving human need. That's part of our unison affirmation that we'll hear in just a little bit. But whether it's immigrants or people here that have financial needs or ability assistance or food, doing physical labor to assist with things both here and elsewhere. There's just a lot going on, and I am so honored to be part of a congregation that shows up. We're working with the legislature. We're working across denominations, across political parties. We're trying to heal a land that we have come to love. Anyway, thank you all for the work you're doing. I want to invite we don't have a board person, our director of Lifespan Religious Education to share this morning.
Thank you. Our board person is unable to join us this morning because of technical difficulties, and we all understand that. So we are very glad to see all of you this morning. Thank you so much for being here, or for feeling your presence here at any rate. Wanted to give you a few announcements of things that are coming up. First of all, our giveaway the plate this month is for Louisiana Aid for Immigrants in Detention, and that link will be in the chat here, and you're welcome to give there. And there are also some local ways to give if you want your money to go immediately to boots on the ground. Either way, we appreciate whatever you can do. We've been taking care of a whole lot of people that have been released from detention. They come from all over the world, and I'm so grateful to all the people in this church and from the wider community that have either been driving or buying lunches or buying dinners or taking people to the airport, to the bus station, all of the things to get them to the places where they can await their asylum claims. So we are so thankful for everyone who's helped out with that, and the money just helps us do more. So thank you so much for that. There will be no family religious education today. Take Mother's Day to do something good for your mom, or to just remember your mom, do something together with your mom or for your mom, whatever. But we're going to take that time off today. And there will also be no high school religious education gathering on Tuesday evening. We'll be back the following week as well, and we'll be giving you all of that information. Mark your calendars for the evening of the 18th of May. There will be a gathering, an interfaith gathering of a cluster of churches and mosques, and a gathering where we kind of start to build relationships and get to know each other better. And so we'll be reminding you and inviting you to that. That will be the evening of May the 18th, and there will be more details available very soon. We will have Zoom lunch this Wednesday at noon. It's very informal. We just kind of get together to check in and see how everybody's doing. So we encourage you to join us for that if you have that noon hour and you're available. The Highland Blessing Dinner is still carry out only Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 to 6 p.m. Well, they'll be short at least one regular this week, me, because I will be here in Virginia, where we're visiting my father-in-law. And by the way, that is my late mother-in-law looking over my shoulder there, Helen Caldwell. I miss her just as I miss my mom, Bernice. But we are thankful for the presence of these women in our lives. If you are able to go to the Highland Blessing Dinner, as I said, from 4 to 6 p.m. Tuesday or Thursday, that would be much appreciated. It's easy work. There are good people there. It's safe. It goes by fast. And finally, Larry Andros teaches meditation every Saturday morning at 10:30 via Zoom. So if you're interested in that, you can get in touch with Larry, and I believe that information will also be in the chat. And I think that is all I have. Thank you, and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, Miss Susan. I want to remind you that we do these services as much in real time with you as we possibly can. We are live, posting this to Facebook, and so whatever glitches along the way just demonstrate that we are human and that this is not prefab. I wanted to mention that today there's a good bit of music in the worship service, and some of it is from different genres than we would usually, or that I usually choose for our worship services, but all of it is written by friends of mine, and they each have very, very different stories about mothers in their lives. And I have been touched by their work, and I wanted to share it with you as we try to deal with Mother's Day in a very Unitarian Universalist sort of fashion. Mothers are not all alike. Our experiences are not all alike. But our need to be nurturers of the world is the same. So, trying to heal ourselves or bolster ourselves, I invite all of you to take a couple of deep, comfortable breaths. Let yourself be where you are. And I hope you'll enjoy the service. Before I share some words from Becky Brooks, I would like to offer this piece of writing from the Tao Te Ching. Before creation, a presence existed, self-contained, complete, formless, voiceless, mateless, changeless, which yet pervaded itself with unending motherhood. Though there can be no name for it, I have called it the way of life. Perhaps I should have called it the fullness of life, since fullness implies widening into space, implies still further widening, implies widening until the circle is whole. Mother's Day is complicated. Joyful for many, yes, but complicated. It's right there on the calendar, even if your mother has died. Even if you've been told yet again that you're still not pregnant, or if you've never been more scared than you are right now because you are pregnant, it's Mother's Day. Even if your own mother's priorities included everything but you, there's going to be a Mother's Day Google Doodle with flowers and pink stuff. Even if you have scars, ones you can see or ones you can't, it's Mother's Day. That cake mix commercial is going to roll out 4 times an hour, even when you can't stop shaking and crying because you can't believe you just slapped your little boy today. It's Mother's Day. And we all have to live with that in those silent, breathless moments. Because even when the baby dies, it's Mother's Day. And so let's go to church. Let's be a church where we can acknowledge how difficult it is to have this day, right alongside how joyful this day can be. Let's be a church where we don't pretend there aren't inky depths of space between us, even when we sing. Let's be a church that fills the space between our differences with love. Because even in the most broken places, there's room for love. We can be that church. I would like to invite Brittany Turner to lead the first part of our chalice lighting today. And is your 4-footed child going to join us?
We are going to try. So we have moms of two-leggeds and moms of four-leggeds today, and Pearl's going to help us with the children's chalice lighting. So we light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open minds. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart.
Thank you. She was precious. Children will be children. Okay, let's light our chalice. We light this chalice for the web of life which sustains us, for the sacred circle of life in which we have our being. We light this chalice for mothers and mothering, to celebrate those who have taken on the task of nurturing a young one, a baby, child, or youth, into adulthood. To celebrate those who have nourished the light of truth and compassion in growing minds and hearts. To celebrate those who have committed time, money, energy to the growth of others in this world. We light this chalice to celebrate and hold dear this flame of love. We kindle this flame with love for mothers and for mothers, past, present, and future. We kindle this flame in celebration of community and its generations. We kindle this flame with respect and support for the greater circle of life of which we are all a part. Brittany, are you coming back to do our unison affirmation?
Yes. Give me
She's
just one
triple dutying today.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other.
I hope you said that along with us, and I hope that you will sing along with this next hymn.
Spirit of life, come unto
Good morning again. I have a story for you this morning, and I call it Mother's Day Has Two Mommies, and a grandma, too. Now, you might remember back when we were meeting in person, there was a book we sang out of and read out of called Singing the Living Tradition. And it's called that very aptly because we are a living tradition, which means that we can honor our history at the same time that we move forward, and we can make room for a blending of new traditions with the old. And so I think there's no better time to talk about that than on Mother's Day. Now, as a good Unitarian Universalist, if you've been around for a while, you've probably heard at least once the first Mother's Day was founded as a Mother's Day for Peace by a Unitarian poet, social activist, and author of the Battle Hymn of the Republic, Julia Ward Howe. Now, many people think of the Battle Hymn as a song that glorifies war, and Julia did believe very strongly in the cause that the Union soldiers were fighting for, to end the dehumanizing practice of slavery. But in working for the Sanitary Commission, she was right in the war zones, taking care of the wounded, and she saw firsthand the horrors of war. So when the war was over, she came up with the idea of a Mother's Day for Peace, thinking that it was mothers who married the men and raised the sons who ultimately went off to battle. So it was mothers who should stand up against it. And she wrote a famous poem, her Mother's Day Proclamation, that included the words, "Our sons will not be taken from us to unlearn all we have taught them of charity, mercy, and patience. We, the women of one country, will be too tender of those of another country to allow our sons to be trained to injure theirs." And so the first Mother's Day for Peace was celebrated June 2nd of 1870. And for a number of years thereafter, though often in just a few cities and in conjunction with the suffragette rallies, the rallies for the rights of women to vote. Now, a lot of people think that the Mother's Day we celebrate today is just some kind of pale Hallmark card corruption of that sacred commemoration. This is a sentiment that's mainly most loudly expressed by those who don't want to buy the Hallmark cards or who forget to send them. But actually, this holiday, too, that we celebrate on the second Sunday in May, began as a response to war and a celebration of peace. There were two women in the town of Grafton, West Virginia, Anne Reeves Jarvis and her daughter Anna Jarvis. And the mom, Anne Jarvis, did a lot of service work in the town. She took care of moms that had tuberculosis, and she helped take care of their children, and she taught the women sanitary practices with food that probably saved a lot of lives over time there in Grafton. And during the Civil War, West Virginia had split apart from the rest of Virginia because they did not want to be a part of defending slavery. They were mainly small farmers that had no slaves, and they didn't want any part in that. However, that split happened while the Civil War was going on. So a lot of the sons, or many of them, had already gone off to fight for the Confederacy. So the war is over, the boys are coming home from both sides, and yeah, it could get a little tense. And so Mrs. Jarvis Sr. had the idea that if there were a Mother's Friendship Day, if there were a celebration honoring mothers, with mothers at the focus, that maybe the boys would have to behave, because their moms would be there and their moms would be the focus of the celebration. So this is an old photograph of one such event. They took place annually in Grafton for a while after that. And after her mother's death, younger Anna Jarvis, who was somewhere in here, I missed her. Anyway, the younger Anna Jarvis lobbied for a long time to Congress for a holiday to be presented in her mother's honor. And it was finally declared in honor of all mothers, and it was finally declared a holiday by President Woodrow Wilson in 1914. And this is a Mother's Day shrine. It's at St. Andrew's Methodist Episcopal Church in Grafton. There's also this monument there in honor of Anna Jarvis and first Mother's Day. So Anna lived until 1948, and she became a little disappointed with what the holiday became. She was somewhat disdainful of the cards, which she called a poor substitute for the letter that you are too lazy to write. But in this tradition where we honor Julia as one of our own, and we celebrate the two Annas who worked in this spirit of peace that we hold dear, we can also respect a blending of these traditions, Hallmark cards and all, because nurturing, protecting, healing, giving you wisdom, and listening to your stories, all of that, all of those qualities, if practiced widely, can sow the seeds of peace. And the fact that chocolate has evolved as part of the celebration can't be a bad thing either. So, happy Mother's Day.
I can see the cotton fields, old men working in the mill. I can see Daddy loading the trunk of my old blue Oldsmobile. I see the tears in my mama's eyes as she kissed her baby goodbye. I can still feel all of that love from here. I can see the cotton sheets, they're swinging in the wind. I'm swinging in the wind. I close my eyes and my mind flies, and I'm right back home again. I'm right back home. And if I get lost while I'm chasing my dreams, I'll find my way, 'cause my heart has wings, and I can still feel all of that love from here. I was raised on love's foundation. The rock of ages goes unshaken. The faith and hope that was given to me is stronger than the blackjack tree. My mama taught me how to stand alone. She let me go, but she still holds on, and I can still feel all of that love from here. I can see the cotton sheets, they're swinging in the wind. I'm swinging in the wind. I close my eyes and my mind flies, and I'm right back home again. I'm right back home. And if I get lost while I'm chasing my dreams, I'll find my way, 'cause my heart has wings, and I can still feel all of that love from here. I can still feel all of that love from here.
Good morning. For today's meditation, let yourself find a comfortable position with your body balanced and your spine straight. Begin with a deep, comfortable breath, shifting your attention to your heart space, and imagine breathing in and out of your heart. Allow your breath to deepen and slow. Allow your breath to be soft and kind. Today, as you pause in this moment's presence, reflect. Just as a tree needs sunlight and rain, just as a seed needs tender, enfolding earth to open its promise of life and growth, just as young animals and young children need mothering and care, I too need care and kindness, support and nurturing in the path of my becoming. Yet it can seem so often there are people who do not understand words and actions that hurt, separations that seemingly cannot be healed. There are those who cannot hear because they carry burdens of abuse and challenges of spiritual impoverishment. Today, I will seek the deep silence of the heart, the ocean depth of being beneath all the changing waves of circumstance. It is here that I can know the deepest currents of life's giving and receiving. Life forever gives itself to life, and life forever receives the living gift of its own being. In the bread I eat today, I receive the sun. Through the life it gave the fields of grain. I receive the energy and time of the farmer who harvested the grain, the farmer's mother and father and family, and the many others who brought it to my table. In the principles and values I hold so dear, I receive the caring gift of those with courage to speak and live their truth. In the interwoven hearts of beloved community, I find the affirmation that turns my dreams into the next step I take. Everywhere I look, I find the mirror of life's caring gift. In every step I take, I am supported in ways I cannot fathom. Knowing this, my heart is full and love flows with gifts enough to share with others in kindness and compassion. In this sacred moment, I center in my breath. Breathing in, I know I am embraced and held. Breathing out, I join with life to celebrate its loving gift.
whole life. You suffer my whole life. All the junkies loved her so underneath their wings. She curled up dirty and ragged. That's the part of me that sings. Part of me, part of her. Man, I'm telling you, even though I finally got clean, I'm still a junkie too. Still a junkie too. Shadows all around us as I finally watched her die. And the saddest thing I'll ever feel are no tears left to cry. Black dust from the 9th floor, paper cups and paper shoes. What a way to see her. There was nothing left to lose. Junkies loved her then. This city don't sleep. You never lose what you really want, just the stuff you need. Sometimes I still get the urge to wanna fly away and reach the same conclusion that I fight until today. And it's part of me, part of her. I'm telling you, even though I finally got clean, I'm still a junkie too. Still a junkie too.
Barbara, you're muted.
I'm sorry. Thank you. When I was growing up, I was taught in church to call God Father, but he wasn't much like a father figure to me. He was strict and hovering, judgmental and distant. All of those things were quite different than the characteristics my own father demonstrated. Then, when I began to notice the feminist movement, a struggle that preceded my awareness by at least a number of decades, I heard people talking about Mother, Father God and Mother God, pointing out the plural pronouns in Genesis and the feminine imagery used to describe some of God's attributes throughout both the Hebrew Testament and the Christian Testament, or in the vernacular, the Old and New Testaments. Folks that struck me as pretty radical here and there were talking about the goddess and goddess worship. While these archetypes and characters were usually wise and patient, there were most often accompanying warrior images. And though my own mother can hold her own in just about any of the kinds of battles she enters, weaponry has never really been part of her experience. These days, my understanding of the sacred has broadened to that which is beyond naming. as is written in the Tao Te Ching, that which can be named isn't it. And the more words one uses to describe or explain the ultimate underlying origin, first cause, wholeness, mystery, holy, or generatively unfolding source of all that we know as universe, the farther one gets or seems to get from its essence. Though the old parental imagery did not line up with my experiences, the idea that there is something permeating life that with unnoticed strength holds the stars and planets and galaxies and universes in perfect balance, and that has ordered and organized innumerable atoms into the utterly unique, beautifully, perfectly complex, broken, irreplaceable individuals and beings and elements and energies is comforting to me. And all of that feels more like what the actual or metaphorical parent or mother of existence is about. All of that sounds quite a lot like a mindful, loving, healthy mother. So on this Mother's Day, as I invite each of you, each of us, to offer our appreciation for life and those who are integral in our being here, having one, let us accept this invitation to also lift thoughts in gratitude to each one, anyone, and everyone who has nurtured us, nudged us when we needed it, listened until we felt heard, bandaged skinned knees, comforted us, fed us, taught us, watched us, applauded us, encouraged us, believed in us, challenged us, and respectfully corrected us. The mothers we have known of whatever age, gender, description, or relationship. And we honor the source of all of them by many names and by none. I invite you to sing along.
Good morning, and I hope that you're having the best Mother's Day available to you. As many of you know, I have the privilege and responsibility of being mom to Ava, Kate, and Jackson. My own journey to and through motherhood has been different than that of some others. My spouse James and I adopted our 2 children out of foster care. Between dating and marriage, we had been together for 14 years, just the 2 of us, before we became parents to a 4-week-old little boy who the world now knows as Jackson. A few weeks after that, our second child joined us. She was then a barely 3-year-old Spitfire, who you now know as 11-year-old Spitfire, Ava Kate. 14 years of just us to 2 kids under 3 in just a matter of weeks. Our first moments with our children didn't involve hospital rooms or birthing pools or midwives or doulas. Instead, our children were delivered to us by fleet cars with state logos that pulled up outside of our door. They held children that we didn't know but already loved inside of those cars, children that still very much belonged to other mothers who loved them and whom they loved. Children, our first days as parents involved mountains of paperwork, inspections of our home to make sure our medications and fire extinguishers were safely stored, and endless medical appointments that were required by the state. Within 15 minutes of becoming a mother, I was writing down dates for upcoming court hearings. In my calendar, I made notations for whether I needed to bring the baby and his things to the hearing or not. That was a decision based on whether there was a chance that he would return to his birth family that day. As he slept on my chest, I felt as though my heart would burst. That was interrupted by a caseworker who dryly said, "Please don't get too attached. His mother will be getting him back. Sign here and take this form with you to the doctor's appointment on Tuesday." Due to the uncertainty inherent in the foster care system and process, we had no idea if we would be their caregivers forever or for just that moment. And of course, we loved them anyway. Holding on while preparing to let go, I guess that's motherhood in a nutshell for all of us. For me, motherhood is not marked by the exclusivity that's often associated with those relationships. I have always shared my children with 2 other women. Those women gave birth to them, but could not, for many reasons, safely care for them. I had and still have mixed emotions about those women. These relationships are complex and dynamic. I felt threatened by them at times and they by me, especially in those early days. I've been angered by the negative impact that their choices have had on the children that I love. And during the days when the word foster still preceded my title as mother, I hoped on the one hand that they would be well and healthy, but also knew that that would mean that they could return to their homes and I may never see these children again. That thought broke my heart. As the weeks, months, meetings, court hearings wore on, it became more apparent that my children would be making their forever home with us. I was thrilled that they would have a permanent home where they were wanted and safe. I was relieved that we wouldn't have to say goodbye to them and then wonder about their safety. But I was sad that that would mean losses for them and for their birth mothers and a permanent change to those relationships. The longer that I'm a mother, the more I realize that although we have different journeys, the roller coaster of emotions inherent in this experience unites us. Mothering is beautiful, challenging, and complex, and it's exhausting. For me, it has been one of the hardest and best things I have ever done. It has changed my view of so many things, and it has highlighted my own strengths and weaknesses in ways that nothing else in my life has. Mothering places high demands on our energy, our resources, our emotions, and our time. It is hard. Parts of it straight up suck sometimes, if I'm being honest. Some of it would make a better advertisement for birth control than the stuff of a Johnson & Johnson commercial. Being a mother through adoption is hard too, in ways that many people don't understand. Adoption always involves loss, and the loss of a parent is traumatic. As my children grow and develop, they understand their own losses and relationships to their birth families in new ways. That results in complicated and intense emotions sometimes. Sometimes I'm the only face of that loss that's immediately available to them, and therefore I'm the target of some of those unpleasant emotions. But not all of it sucks, and in fact, much of it doesn't at all. I'm daily reminded that I'm raising future adults to whom we will one day pass on our tradition, our institutions, and our planet. At times, that responsibility is overwhelming, and at other times, my kids show me their capacity for goodness, kindness, compassion, and morality. And I feel like the best thing that I can do is just get out of their way so that they can do their thing. And like most things in life, the truth can be found in both of those places. My kids need me to teach them things, and I need them to teach me. They are the parts of the interdependent web that are most closely connected to me, and yet they're also connected to other parts of the web in profound ways. They will always connect me to two other mothers who will never see the day-to-day of their growing, but who I think of often, especially today. My kids have connected me to healthcare workers, counselors, educators, caseworkers, judges, adoption attorneys, all of whom have cared for our children and helped us to navigate this process. And we are all connected to the community of this congregation, which has nurtured me and my children. And for that, I'm a better mother, and my children are better people. Thank you.
There are voices in my head. I hear most of what they say. Oh, but sometimes I don't listen much. The mirror on the bathroom wall is an only photograph of you as you might have once appeared to me. My love is here. My love is here. Oh, tell me what you really feel. I met a stranger on the street, one that looked a lot like me. Wonder, did she know your face somewhere? They've hidden you in secret files, could be close or many miles. All this time I know that you've been there. My love is here. My love is here. Oh, tell me what you feel. Do you live in California or in Tennessee? Does the wind blow your hair with some Delta breeze? Now I keep a place inside that only you would see. Oh, but all this time, did you think of me? There's a shadow on the wall. It follows me as I get up down the hallway in the black of night. I stumble over hidden toys from my only baby girl. She is sleeping as I turn the lights. My love is here. My love is here. Oh, tell me what you feel. Do you live in California or in Tennessee? Does the wind blow your hair with some Did you think to live in California or in Tennessee? Does the wind blow your hair with some? Now I keep a place inside that only you would see. Oh, but all this time, did you think in all this time, did you think of me? Oh, 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 oh,
While I've never given birth to a child, this year my son turned 30 years old. For none of those 30 years did I have any legal rights in his life. I would not have legally been able to admit him to a hospital or register him for school. His birth mother could have at any time denied me the right to see him, for which I would have had no recourse or standing at all. Even though the decision to have a child was made together, the process of creating a child was done together, and our intention was to raise him together. I was in the birthing room. The state of Louisiana would not allow two women to have simultaneous guardianship or parental rights, or what they called tutorship at the same time, even though two men could. When my son was 2, a lesbian couple in Richmond, Virginia, lost custody of their son to his grandmother. Where I was standing, that case was a big deal. It basically meant that anyone could challenge us for custody on the grounds of us being unfit to parent. I very seriously thought I needed to get ready and willing to die to defend our family. That may sound melodramatic, but nevertheless, that's what I believed at the time. Shortly on the heels of that, in very short order, President Clinton came out in his initial statements in support of gays in the military. I felt such incredibly deep relief. I knew that things were going to be okay. The custody case in Virginia would take a whole year to be overturned. Still, most of his life, my son had to weigh out the cost of being honest with those around him. When he was very young, he would enthusiastically volunteer that he had 2 mothers. I'm not sure what that was. Even when we were having a car repaired in a very small town with a very large Confederate flag waving across the street. Along the way, his unguarded openness changed, no doubt due to strong negative responses he became aware of that were consequences for being different. He's since become an ally to those who are other than cisgendered. When he was 4.5, his birth mother moved to Texas. My son lived with her but came to stay with me every other weekend, holidays, and at least a month in the summers. Somehow, in spite of having to find his or navigate his way through having as many as 4 female parents at one time, he's grown into being a pretty great guy. Someone I'm awfully proud of. About the time that I started seeing how narcissistic I had been and critical, he left home. He moved into being an adult, had an apartment and a life, and mothers are not all alike. At points, he had 4 of them. I think it was Bill Johnson who said that Noah had, that's my son's name, had to have 4 personalities just to be able to get along with all of those women. I'm not sure what I think of that. My father died several years before Noah was born. Noah's mother's father had also died quite a few years before that. I have no brothers, neither did his birth mother. In large measure, we were counting on the men of this congregation to be the village that helped him understand that part of his life. Over time, a number of the people who said absolutely they would be around to mentor him have wound up moving away. Still, I think the safety of this congregation has nurtured him in large measure, and I am so incredibly grateful for the other women in his life that have filled in where I've fallen short. When gay marriage became legal, some laws had to change, adjustments had to be made, and are still being made. But for his 30th birthday, I had the privilege of legally adopting my son. So now, at long last, the state of Louisiana recognizes that my son is my son. But the law wasn't the deciding factor in our lives and experiences. Mothers are not all alike. And not all mothers are our mothers. Let us be as mindful as we can of how foundational the differences in our lives are. Learn to listen and hold one another with compassion because we still all need it. We have a song from the Virtual Choir and Orchestra of New York City.
pathway smooth since first I learned to love it. No storm can shake my inmost calm. I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing?
I don't know many of your stories, but I know that somewhere along the way you found guidance and nurture, or you wouldn't be here today. I want to thank Jennifer and Paul Sachs and Eleanor McDonald and Paul Kim and Lynn Langham, all for their courage and honesty, talking to us about their experiences, whether in song or here with us. I want to thank the musicians for their willingness to let us use them for our service. Remember to give some warmth and gratitude to yourself for any who you have helped along their way. The love you give has all been meant for you. Remember to give some warmth and gratitude for those who have helped you along your journey. Those who've made the world just a touch safer and kinder. Those who have given you the courage to believe in yourself. Happy Mother's Day to each of you, whether you are a mother or not, and no matter what your relationship has been with your own mother. May we all be about birthing a more loving and just world. Go in peace. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
morning calls, the crickets serenade, echo softly through the night. The stars are on the lake, and the moon is shining bright. Don't worry, I'll leave the light on in the hall. Just go to sleep now, close your eyes.